What's going on? It's Justeeni here. Elyrion used to be that tribe, with the 2-star Polytars. They just completely dominate tiny maps, and everyone hated it. And then they got nerfed, and now they're no longer overpowered. In fact, they're actually pretty mediocre on tiny maps, believe it or not. There's a few factors that contribute to it, not just the Polytar nerf. You'll kind of see what I mean. But Elyrion's playstyle is definitely shifted a little bit. Instead of a big focus on early game aggression with Polytars, it's been focused a lot more on just gambling, which I think is a nice change of pace. It's funny, so there's that. But I'm going to kind of show some examples of how Elyrion plays on tiny maps now, because that's what I do on this channel. I show examples of gameplay. Also, a fair reminder, as I do more of these Tiny Lakes videos, that gets me closer to doing all the tribes and making the Tiny Lakes tribe tier list. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, that's all. Gameplay time. So you can see immediately, gambling. I love gambling, and I get the best possible result here by a mile. Explore Ruin. Also, nice thing about seeing the ruins is you know where the opponents spawn. They had a north lighthouse spawn, so I could already tell, but it's extra assurance. Why not? Yeah. And I say that they're Luxador, which is a little bit of a scary matchup because Elyrion has one really major weakness, and you're going to see in a bit. So I grab that other lighthouse. This is turn 2. And so you can already see kind of a few things. Not starting with an eco attack means your eco is really slow, really slow. And then the other thing is you're very, very slow to get your super unit. Really slow. I go for the port, get some runes, because that's what you do with Elyrion. You go gambling. Let's go gambling. But yeah, port connection as well. That is going to get me a turn 5 egg, and that sounds really early. That would be really good. Turn 5 giant? No, this is a turn 5 egg. This is going to be useless for 3 turns. And then it's going to be a baby dragon. And because of the dragon nerf, you want to keep your baby dragon safe. And I go for a wall here because I need to keep this Polytar safe, and I need to keep the city safe. City wall does that. Pop ruin, that's cool, I guess. I do some funny poly pushing to just pressure a little bit and defend at the same time, and it kind of works. They're making mines surprisingly no giant yet, even though they have Eye of God. I don't know. I have more games, don't worry. This isn't the only one. There it is though, now the giant, turn 7, despite getting it 2 turns later than me. This is still useless right now, so it's still a bit. But yeah, I have archery, so why am I not developing my economy and I'm going archery instead? Well, this is experience, learning from my failures. Elyrion really needs this tech because, again, you don't have giants. If you do not have a counter to giants, you just lose because every tribe is getting giants, Chinchi especially. You get giants, you get a lot of giants, and if I don't have answers to giants, I lose all my cities and I cry. I really need to be stalling for time here. Eco building doesn't really help me stall for time. I need to get my fire dragon, but it's gonna take another 2 turns, but I get this nice siege here because they let me generously. They have archers as well, which I don't really get. They want more giants, not archers. But sure, I guess. I go strategy. I'm gonna be able to get some nice, funny wall action. Oh yeah, they also win AFK, but obviously I'm gonna play my turn out just in case. Woo, cool. Anyway, yeah, I got the funny fire dragon. But anyway, let's go ahead and cut to another game. Alright, so this time though, I'm going against a stronger player, and they are using the meta, Luxador. But I have 2 ruins, and I know they're back here. Most tribes would not know the ruins are back here. They wouldn't go for it, but here I am, making a Polytar so I can get the ruin, and sending this warrior back. These ruins, these are a huge deal. Being able to spot them early on and do some shenanigans is massive. Look at that population growth. That's going to kickstart my economy. Not going to buy techs for my economy. Boo, it sucks. It's expensive and slow. Ruins, we gamble. And another nice thing here is that you can actually see, I know that the opponent spawned in the north again, based on ruin layout and their starting score. if they ever take this ruin, I can move on to the mountain and meet them. So you can really take advantage of those ruin indicators. Like, if you want to be successful with Elyrion these days, you need to take advantage of that. Org Ruin. Great. I bought climbing, and I got another tech out of it. That's pretty cool. Now they go in the water. They also claim the ruin, but I already met them, so cool, I guess. I'm going to take this village. And another nice benefit of these Polytars is if you capture a village, you're going to be able to keep it for sure, which is very nice. Now I go farming, upgrade this, go for workshop because I'm going to get an explorer here. One other notable thing with Elyrion is because you're usually not getting an explorer on your cap, and you're very slow to develop, like, it took me a while to get the city upgraded, you're usually struggling to get Eye of God unless you expand really well. Luckily, this might be one of these cases. I have climbing already, so my explorer is going to take a weird route, but it is going to do it. Opponent doesn't have a giant yet, but they are about to get it. Again, they have almost all the lighthouses, just missing their own lighthouse in the north, ironically. Orc Fortune drops there, interestingly enough. But now I get my egg just a little bit after. And this egg, this is my win condition, basically. Like, yeah, Sanks give long-term value, but I'm not gonna lie, Sanctuaries are very slow. Like, you see me kind of dodging Forestry. It's because it's not actually that good. Like, it's not bad. Like, if you have a good chance to pick it up, absolutely. But, like, if you can get an early dragon, which you normally can, then go archery, I find that's actually better. You know, you need to defend their giants, work towards your win condition. Sooner you get this up, the less time you need to stall. And then the archers, instead of getting Sanks, you know. Again, sometimes Sanks are the play. I found Elyrion's, like, actually really difficult to play properly, because there's a lot of things you have to consider. But yeah, I'm just going to move my egg back. I placed my Fork of Fortune late because I was thinking about placing it somewhere else, and then I changed my mind. It doesn't actually affect anything, though. It cost me 1 star, but okay, I guess. But yeah, now they go in the port, but I have the archers ready. Probably pushing here, getting ready to snag this ruin and snag Eye of God eventually. And yeah, I'm just going to defend against their giants, get my dragon up. 1 fire dragon is more than enough to win. They resign, which is a little premature, but yeah. The giants just aren't going to do it. Maybe they could have fought harder, but the archers are going to be very annoying, pinning down the city. Archers here on defense and counterattacking potentially. It's just a nightmare for Luxador, all in all. So I managed to get another win, but don't leave yet. I still have 1 more game to show. All right, one last one. This time also against Luxador. And this time you can kind of see, based on the ruins and things and their starting score, they didn't spawn up here because this ruin is there. They also didn't spawn here. I can draw this out for you. They did not spawn here because this ruin is too close, which means they had to have spawned here. Super nice deduction you can do, which means I know I can just safely expand. Again, you have to take advantage of those things, because even though I've been showing it and it makes it look like Elyrion's actually really strong, trust me, this game might make you change your mind, actually. Forestry Ruin, very good start. Sword Ruin, maybe not as good. But I'm going to upgrade with Lumber Huts. Again, not really going for Sanks because I have no animals here. I just use them to poly push. I need fast development, and Lumber Huts are going to be what's going to do that. Now I have nothing there, so I have to buy fishing at some point, which I do. Then I grab the Explorer. I'm just kind of, you guys can see what's going on. Do I need to narrate everything? I mean, I'm just doing it for the love of the game. Now I see what's going on. Very concerning. Luxador has that capital water access, and yeah, Luxador is going to do Luxador things. Get the very quick giant, grab the lighthouse out at least, get the level 3 city. I am very close to getting a dragon myself. The things aren't all bad, but turn 6 giant is definitely a little frightening. And again, if I were using any other tribe, I'd just reply to the giant with a giant of my own. But unfortunately, I am Elyrion, and you're going to see the very, very serious weakness of not having your own dragon, or sorry, your own giants. I go for border growth here. This is probably too greedy. I think this is a misplay. The idea is I have a good sawmill spot like here or something, and a good sanctuary spot here, and a good sanctuary spot here. This is too greedy. I don't have time for this. You're gonna see what I mean in a little bit. Like, I had a vision here. This is like one of my like first games with Elyrion, so still kind of getting a feel for it. I thought you could just play super greedy, go with sinks and all that like you normally would after going crazy with the Polytars, but the new Explorer meta, which makes it 10 times easier to rush an early giant, just doesn't make this possible. I go for City Wall, you know, I recognize I have to play defense here. But yeah, my plan was Catapult on defense, which is interesting, but they have navigation, they have I have God. This is really, really, really bad for me though. How do I defend? That's a really good question, Justeeni. I don't have a good answer. They just missed a siege, by the way, but it doesn't actually matter. Like, I'm kind of toast. I have my dragon egg, though. It's a baby dragon. Oh my goodness. If I get a fire dragon, I win, except... No, they're gonna have way more cities than me because they're gonna steal everything that I love. Yeah, I think it was best for me to just get archers, just get a pop growth, avoid math entirely so I could spam a ton of archers on defense, and just pray that I have enough time to set up my fire dragon, maybe do something. I have no idea how I'm defending this city, but maybe I can win the city at disadvantage with the fire dragon. Not really sure. But yeah, going greedy as Elyrion. Look at these beautiful sinks. It doesn't matter. And the sawmill, strong border growth, doesn't matter. You will lose the game to Giant Rush if you are not actively prepared for it, and that forces you to make a lot of sacrifices. If you think you can play like this against a good player, think again. It's not going to work. That is one thing with Elyrion. You have to be very, very cautious, very aware of what you're doing. You need a plan for Giant Rush. If you don't have a very good plan for it, you just lose. But yeah, this tribe's pretty fun though. I think they're like kind of middle of the road. Definitely not the best. Far from their strong early days. You know, the 2-star polys and Eye of God not being a thing you see in every single Lakes game. But I think they're a pretty fun pick. You know, they're no longer degenerate. That's nice. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.